Hello everyone. I was planning this video for quite a long time. It's Bereavement Fare. Today I got the time, so let me give some information about it. It's Let me give you little bit of an intro about this video, this short video. This is highly useful for those who are in the need of the cheaper airfare because of the death of a family member or friend, somebody who passed away, and you have to travel miles away for the funeral at the last moment. So you would like to get a flight in the next couple of hours or same day, or maybe you are just running towards the airport and all the flights are already sold out. The normal airfare that you're finding everywhere on the internet, with the travel agent, with the airline, everywhere, either the seats are sold out or the fare may be like 5 to 10 times more expensive than the normal price. So airlines would like to definitely help the customers, but only those who are the needy ones and not anybody. Otherwise anybody can go to any airline and say, hey, I need a bereavement flight and give me a discounted price, and you would like to fly, which would be a loss of revenue to the airline. So it's like airline, not all the airlines will give you the bereavement flight, and not always, not on all the routes, but some of the airlines would like to give this kind of service. So let me give you a little bit more information about the bereavement flight and the airfare discount with respect to Delta Airlines. I would like to cover this topic with respect to the other airlines also, but this is perhaps this is definitely my first video about the bereavement flight trading. So here we go. I am just everything is live on the internet. It's a public information. I don't have a copyright. Anybody can make this kind of a video, but let me, since I have this information and I have my own experience too in relation to this, so I would like to share that. Okay, so here we go about the bereavement fare. Yeah, it's a little phone on which I'm making it. So let me read and let me give you more information about it. One moment. In the event of death or imminent death for international travel in your immediate family, you may have to travel at the last minute. As I said earlier, we offer a bereavement policy. We means Delta Airline offers a bereavement policy, which offers additional flexibility on the best published fares for your itinerary when last minute travel is required, of course. Call Delta Air Reservations at 1-800-221-1212 to book a bereavement fare. That means you can't book it on delta.com or any other website. You have to call this number, speak to a Delta representative, and then book your airfare. Okay, bereavement fare, its definition of the immediate family members eligibility. Yeah, this is what we are going to cover now. While fares offered under the bereavement policy vary in price, the additional flexibility may be beneficial to accommodate unexpected changes in your travel plans. This policy, however, can only be applied by calling Delta Reservations at 1-800-221-1212 for domestic flights and 1-800-241-4141 for international flights. So two different numbers. Okay. You can't purchase bereavement fares on delta.com, as I said earlier, and Delta bereavement fares are subject to the following restrictions. Of course, when the airline is helping people, they will have certain restrictions too, which means simply the terms and the conditions. So here are those points. Tickets under the bereavement policy are subject to availability and may not be available at the time of booking. Oh, so very, very limited availability. Okay. Delta's bereavement policy provides flexibility to the outbound and or the return portion of your trip by waiving service fees. However, the fare difference may still apply. Lower promotional fares may be available on delta.com or through Delta Reservations and may serve as a better option in some markets. Of course, if some client is going to get a lower rate on delta.com, of course, why would he go for the bereavement flight? Bereavement flight means cheaper ticket, and if the bereavement fare is more than the normal price, then there is no point of bereavement flight. So same thing would happen if you call the Delta representative in Delta call center and ask them. So if there is a lower rate available for the bereavement, they will give you. Otherwise, they will say a lower fare is otherwise also available for anybody. Additional guidelines and the restrictions apply. Visit Delta Cares for more information on the professional services that might assist you in the need in time of need. Definition of the immediate family members. Yeah. Okay. Under the provisions of the medical fare guidelines, immediate family includes the following: spouse, that means death of any of these following: spouse, domestic partner, child, parent, sister, brother, step parent, stepchild, grandparent, grandchild, aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, stepbrother, stepsister, mother-in-law, father-in-law, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law. So that's the whole definition. So you would qualify for the bereavement fare if somebody out of these have died, otherwise not. All spouse related relationships apply to domestic partner. Okay. Now, eligibility. The program is valid for the SkyMiles members needing to travel due to the death or imminent death of an immediate family member. That means you have to be a SkyMiles members first, which is very simple process. I can explain this in some other video, how to enroll yourself for a SkyMiles member. It's very simple and easy. You can call Delta reservations and tell them, and they will make you a member. It's basically a frequent flyer program, which airline is happy to enroll anybody and anyone for this program, and there is no charge for that. Okay. If you're not currently a SkyMiles members, you may enroll immediately to qualify by clicking on this link. Okay. Required documentation. The following information is required so that you can purchase a ticket under the bereavement policy. Okay. These are the another few conditions. Okay. Deceased person's name. Okay. So you have to know the person who has died. As I told you that the airline would like to help, but only to needy people. So that is the reason they have a simple process. Okay. Second point is customer's relationship to the deceased. Very important, because the definition of the family has been discussed earlier, so they would like to see how are you related to the person who is no more. Then the name and the phone number of the funeral home, hospital, or hospice. Basically this is to verify that what the customer said is it actually so that they can call and find out. Okay. Name of the doctor if applicable. That means if the person died in a hospital, then the doctor has to issue a certificate. So name of the doctor, if any, if it is applicable. Okay. Then it is children and the infant, which is a different topic, but let me read related to this. Children will be ticketed at the same fare as an adult under the bereavement policy or the applicable child's fare, whichever is lower. Basically you can't claim double benefit. Either you go for a child fare if a child is traveling with you, or you go for the bereavement policy fare, bereavement fare. So whichever is cheaper, you go for that, and Delta will give you only one benefit, not both. Okay. The first infant without a seat under the age of 2 at no charge, which is a common policy. The second infant must purchase a seat, which is again a general rule. There is a 2 infant maximum per ticketed adult, which is again a general rule. The infant must be accompanied on all the flights in the same compartment by an adult. Of course, infant can't go anywhere, so this is needless to say. And then we have military travel, which is a next topic, not this one. It says, see the terms and the conditions. Let me see. Reservation must be ticketed immediately. Okay, of course you have to fly in same day or in the next couple of hours, so the reservation has to be ticketed immediately. That means you have to pay for it. Some of the airlines, they hold the reservation, but since your flight is leaving in the next 24 hours or even less than 24 hours, so there is no point that airline would hold the reservation or you would hold the reservation. It has to be ticketed immediately. When it says ticketed, it means you have to pay for it. Next thing is the ticket must be purchased with the travel commencing within 7 days of death or immediate death of the immediate family member. Okay, of course, because if you're going for a bereavement flight, then the date of death and the date of travel, it both have to be less than 7 days or so. Okay, required documentation is subject to the verification. Of course, whatever you say, they will verify. And here are some more points. Ticketing penalties are waived. Okay, however, fare difference may still apply. That means you have a ticket and you want to make some changes, so airline will not charge the penalty, but fare difference would apply. International tickets are subject to additional restrictions, okay, which only a Delta representative can tell you over the phone or in person at the airport. Refunds are permitted only on unrestricted bereavement tickets. That means if it is a bereavement ticket, most of the time it's non-refundable. Yeah. Domestic tickets must be purchased and travel must start within 7 days of death or imminent death of the immediate family member. Required documentation is subject to verification. One more time. Then it talks about the upgrades, but okay, when you're going for bereavement flight, I'm sure you don't want to upgrade. You simply need a seat to sit and travel. By the way, there are some other points. Medallion complimentary upgrades and complimentary champion upgrades are permitted on the domestic and international flights. International bereavement fares and are subject to the applicable terms and the conditions. So it's going to be a different topic altogether, which can be covered later. Mileage upgrades, yeah. Availability and the restrictions. Let me see. Yes, now availability and the restrictions. It's nothing much when you speak to a Delta representative, because he is going to help you. He's a trained professional. He or she is a trained professional to help you with such matters. So nothing much, but let me read and let me explain. Note that tickets sold under Delta's bereavement policy are only available on Delta marketed and Delta operated and Delta connection flights. Of course, it has to be Delta flight. Then you're calling Delta, because you're calling Delta. Other lower, more restrictive fares may be available here on delta.com, as it was explained earlier. Also, additional restrictions may apply. Then baggage restriction. Baggage is completely a different topic. So anyways, what we covered today is the bereavement fare, which means a kind of a discount which the airline gives to its passengers because of death of some near and the dear one, and they have certain rules and regulations. And also what they have is called they have given the definition of the family and who qualifies and who does not, and it has to be ticketed immediately and everything. So I hope you must got some idea about the bereavement fare. I would be covering some similar interesting topics later on. Before I end this topic, this video, let me tell you that it's highly useful for those who may have to travel because of some sort of emergency like death, and at that point of time, there is no time available with the customer to think or to do all the research on the internet. So please share this video among all those and you can share it around the world, because bereavement policy is something which many airlines have and many don't, but it's good to know information for all. There is no point that you have to buy a ticket due to this kind of emergency, which is like 5 times or 7 times or 10 times or 8 times more expensive than the normal fare, which happens. You can avoid that kind of a situation, that kind of expensive purchase, forced purchase at that point of time, if you know what the policy is about the bereavement fares. So it's Delta Airline, it is headquartered in I remember, I still know that it's headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you live around Atlanta, Georgia, then of course I'm sure you must have traveled with Delta Airline, but it's not just this airline. This is just to explain. But in the coming time, I would be covering bereavement fare for different airlines and maybe different countries, so that you would know what the differences between all these different airlines offering similar kind of fare, what their policies are and everything. Hope this video is helpful, and I will talk to you into a different video very soon. It's a 15 minutes video. I apologize that it's very big one, it's a lengthy one, but do comment, put your questions, if any, in relation to this in the comment section. And if there are a lot of comments coming in, that would give me an idea of what kind of training videos, informative videos in relation to travel or airline that you would need, and I would make a video and shoot. Thank you very much. Goodbye.